Like I said, a lot of people doubted me. A lot of people said I haven't fought anybody. I can't sell. I don't have no personality. They just wrote me off for years and years, and it all came to a halt tonight.
When Canelo Alvarez laughed at Terence, Bud Crawford's resumed, asking him, "Who's the elite fighter you've beaten?"
If you look at his career, mention one elite fighter. Just mention me one elite fighter.
Fast forward to now, and guess what? Canelo just stamped his own name on Bud's list. And the way this fight went down, man, it was a story.
The fighting pride of Omaha, Nebraska, USA.
Canelo came forward like a tank, throwing heavy artillery, but Crawford stayed slick, moving, countering, and making him miss just enough to frustrate the champ. Every round felt like brains versus brawn. Canelo loading up bombs, Bud slipping, tagging, and keeping the judges busy. The crowd couldn't believe what they were seeing, because this wasn't just Crawford surviving. This was Crawford controlling the pace.
We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
With every round, you could feel the tide slowly turning, as if Bud was pulling Canelo deeper in a quicksand he couldn't climb out of. But the real headline? That 12th round counter. Crawford timed it perfectly. Cracked Canelo, so clean his head swung like a door in the wind.
Well, the first 3 rounds, I felt like I was in control. I think he was trying to figure me out.
Did you feel that you were frustrating him? He tried to lift you up. He headbutted you. Were you sensing that you were frustrating him?
Of course. He was a little frustrated in there, but that's part of the game.
And here's the crazy part. Folks always said Canelo ate Gennady Golovkin's punches like they were breakfast. But this time, Crawford hit him so hard it looked like Canelo's soul took a quick trip to another universe before coming back. The arena erupted. Fans on both sides jumping out of their seats because nobody expected Canelo to get rocked like that. You could see it in his eyes, too. That was respect, because he finally felt the kind of power he swore Bud didn't have.
What was his power like? Have you been hit by anybody that strong before?
I've been hit harder.
No, in a real fight, not a sparring.
In a real fight. Not Avanesian, but Mean Machine hit harder than Canelo, to me, to be honest.
Congratulations.
That shot sealed the night. And when the scorecards were read, it wasn't just a win. It was a crowning moment that proved Crawford belongs on the throne of greatness. And the best part? Canelo was so frustrated, you could see it written all over his face. He just wanted to leave the ring and go home.
It looked like Canelo Alvarez almost wanted to walk off at one point.
Yeah, he was frustrated, and it is frustrating to try and fight a guy, and you want to fight, but this guy's moving well, and Crawford was moving too.
This wasn't the calm, collected kingpin of boxing we've known for years. This was a man stripped of his aura. For the first time in his career, Canelo looked ordinary, like another fighter who had no answers. Crawford didn't just beat him, he humbled him. And that's something no one thought we'd ever see.
You just made like a whole resume of stuff tonight.
It means a lot to me because, anybody can be a nobody, like I said, and that's all they say I've been fighting is nobodies. So what can they say now? Somebody tell me, what can you say now?
And say congratulations.
The legend who once made other fighters crumble under pressure was now the one walking out with his pride dented, his throne shaken, and his empire questioned. And here's the thing. When the so-called face of boxing suddenly looks like he doesn't even want to be there, history just flipped. Canelo's the guy who survived wars with Triple G, who ate bombs from the hardest punchers like they were appetizers. But Crawford made him look human. Not just human, vulnerable. Fans weren't just shocked by the loss. They were shocked by Canelo's body language, his defeated energy, his frustration boiling over. If this fight proved anything, it's that Crawford didn't just step into Canelo's world. He took over the whole kingdom, left with the crown, and showed the boxing universe that even the unshakable king can be broken.
It was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah, we ain't going up that much.
Now that Crawford just shook up the boxing world by dethroning Canelo, the million-dollar question is, what's next for Bud? Because after a performance like that, you're not just looking at a win. You're looking at legacy-defining territory. Crawford could stick around at 168 and defend his spot as the new king. Maybe even chase undisputed if he wants to grab every single belt. Imagine him against David Benavidez, the Mexican monster. That's a fight that would sell out stadiums.
Last question. Is Terence Crawford retired or is he going to keep fighting?
He's going to keep fighting.
He's going to keep fighting?
Yeah.
You're the man. Be man. Okay, what's next for him? You've been training for years. What's next for him? The fans want to know. What's next for him?
Break. Take a break.
Is he retired or is he going to keep fighting?
He just got to take a break.
If Bud really wants to stamp his greatness, he could test the waters at 175 against a beast like Dimitri Bivol. That would be insane. A guy who started his career at lightweight, climbing all the way up and still beating giants. Either way, Crawford's not just pound-for-pound king anymore. He's the face of boxing. And after breaking down Canelo the way he did, every fighter from 154 to 175 is now looking at Crawford with fear because he's proven size doesn't matter when skill and dog mentality are on another level.
How hard did he hit? How hard did he hit?
He didn't hit as hard as I thought he was. He's definitely technical, but, I've been hit harder.
Look, I said earlier on the show, it seems like inactivity doesn't affect you, weight doesn't affect you. Who can beat you out there? Is there anybody?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed by.
And that's the wild part, because just when we're debating whether Crawford should test Bivol at 175 or ride off into the sunset, Andre Ward steps in and shuts it all down. You and I both know Ward doesn't toss out praise like confetti. This man's one of the most disciplined, straight-shooting fighters we've ever seen. And yet, even he's saying Crawford is the GOAT of this generation. That's not hype. That's not promotion talk. That's one legend co-signing another. And trust me, when Ward stamps you, that's about as official as it gets in boxing.
There was no signs of a size disadvantage there. How special? You can see it in spots, but it wasn't significant. And I didn't think it was going to be significant.
But here's the kicker. Ward isn't just praising Bud. He's practically telling us to stop being greedy. We always want the next fight, the next test. But Ward's saying those boxes are already checked. The legacy, the money, the dominance, it's all there. And honestly, he's right. How many times does Crawford need to prove that size, power, and odds don't matter before we just sit back and say, yeah, this man is built different? Ward calling for him to hang it up after Canelo isn't a sign of weakness. It's a salute. A Hall of Famer telling another, you've conquered it all. Now enjoy the throne.
People call me crazy, but I've been around Terence. He's strong. He's got a wrestling background, and people don't realize that he's been boiling himself down all these years and still being successful.
And just when we thought Andre Ward dropped the mic by calling Crawford the GOAT of this generation, boom, Teofimo Lopez jumps in and takes it up another notch. You know Teo, he doesn't sugarcoat a thing. And what does he say? Crawford is top 10 all time. Let that sink in for a second. We're not talking pound for pound right now. We're talking boxing history books. You, me, and every fight fan just witnessed a guy who started at lightweight go up, take on the Mexican king, and make him look frustrated to the point where he almost wanted to walk out. That's not just a win. That's rewriting the hierarchy of legends.
What happens with Canelo next after this?
What happens to Canelo after this? It don't matter. He's made a big statement for not only Mexico or the pride of Mexico, but for all Latinos right there. Crawford is on his way, continuing to create great.
And Lopez pointed out what we all saw. Canelo's feet looking heavier than a bag of cement, and Crawford making him look human. The crazy part? Even with the pressure, Bud never cracked. He kept his composure, outworked Canelo, and had him questioning himself in those later rounds. You and I can laugh about it now, but when a guy with Canelo's resume looks like he wants the final bell just to escape, man, that's history right there. Lopez wasn't exaggerating, calling it top 10 all time. He's telling us flat out, Crawford's not just elite, he's boxing royalty now.
So he was washed, but where's he at in terms of his prime? How can you gauge it?
Doesn't matter. We saw a great fight tonight, did we not? That's all that matters. Two guys risked it, and the better man won tonight.
Alright, so after Teofimo finished flexing about respect, the mic goes straight to the legend himself, Lennox Lewis. And let me tell you, Lennox wasn't sugarcoating a single thing. Basically said, yo, I expected Canelo to throw hands, not just shadowbox air. And honestly, I felt that. We were all waiting for Canelo to wake up, but instead, Crawford turned him into a lost tourist swinging at ghosts. Lennox even dropped the classic, "The cat got too fat" line. Translation, Canelo's been eating too good off those paydays, while Bud's still starving for greatness.
I was actually amazed at the way how Terence Crawford moved and, you know, never got hit, and threw combinations, because that's what you're supposed to do, throw combinations. So he threw combinations. He wasn't trying to knock out.
And here's the part that cracked me up. Lennox said he only gave Canelo like 3 rounds. 3. Meanwhile, the judges must have been watching a completely different fight. Maybe Netflix, who knows? Because 5 rounds for Canelo? Nah, that's charity work. And when Lennox said Crawford wasn't even chasing the knockout, just stacking combos like Tetris pieces, that told you everything. But didn't need one big punch. He just drowned Canelo with skill. If you still think Canelo won 5 rounds, you probably count dog years as boxing rounds.